All right, so treasure. What is treasure? Why don't we start at the beginning? Intro Long Journey, the first song on ATEEZ's debut album, has this whole section near the end of it where they list a couple of examples of treasure and then they follow with this very point-blank question. What is your treasure? I consider this line to be the most important lyric in all of ATEEZ's discography. And in my opinion, it is really difficult to understand ATEEZ's storyline and just the meaning behind their content as a whole if you cannot answer this question. Every single thing ATEEZ makes, every song, every music video, every album, every concept photo, every live performance, everything is a type of answer to this question. As a result, explaining what treasure is can be a little bit of a daunting subject to tackle just because of the sheer amount of stuff I could talk about in this video. But I don't want to overwhelm you, and so this video is going to cover the absolute basics of understanding what treasure is for ATEEZ. The beginning of Intro Long Journey gives us what is essentially ATEEZ's definition of treasure. People want it, people dream about it, it can be different to every individual, it can complete us or it can destroy us, and it can change the world. People call it treasure. So treasure is something people want, something they desire. It is a representation of a person's dreams, their goals, their ambitions. And treasure does not have to take any one specific form. It is more of a concept. Treasure can be a really positive part of your life, something that completes you, but it can also consume you. It can be this destructive force as well. Treasure is something that defies dichotomous thinking. It is not a good thing or a bad thing. It can be either or both depending on the situation. But above all, treasure is a powerful thing. It is something that is so influential, it has the power to change the world. So what is this magical, amazing, special, powerful thing? Well, for ATEEZ, treasure is light. You can find hints to this idea in the lyrics of nearly every ATEEZ song, but the lyrics of Treasure seem like a good place to look. The opening lyric of Treasure describes treasure as something that glistens. Hongjoong goes on to say that treasure is so bright it is even something that can blind you. You become obsessed with it at the expense of everything else in your life. In the bridge, treasure is this glistening, shining star they're reaching out for. In the lyrics of Desire, they talk about this thing that they're dreaming about and how it glitters. Light is a song entirely about treasure, how it shines and flashes and beckons to them. Similarly, Dazzling Light describes this bright, dazzling light that calls to them. Treasure is something that glistens, that blinds, that glitters, that shines, that flashes and dazzles. Treasure is something that emits light. So in order to find your treasure, all you have to do is follow the light. ATEEZ finds their treasure by following the light emitted by the treasure. To get the thing you want, you have to follow your dreams. The whole purpose of ATEEZ's long journey is to find treasure. Treasure is the thing that differentiates the beginning from the end. At the beginning of their journey, ATEEZ hasn't found their treasure, and by the end of the journey, they have. At the beginning of the Treasure series, they describe it as the place nobody has found, somewhere far, far away. But by the end of the series, they say it's something right in front of their eyes, something that fills their hands. By the end, they've found their treasure. It's covering them like shining light. But this journey is eternal. They don't stop here. Even though they've found treasure, they're going to keep looking for more. The journey to accomplish your dreams never truly ends. It just begins again. At the beginning of the Fever series, they're wandering and lost in darkness. They're spending every day and night looking for it. But at the end of this road, they find their shining light. And once they've found it, the journey starts over back at the beginning. They go searching for treasure yet again. We see light represented in a lot of different ways in ATEEZ music videos. As a chandelier, as flashlights, as a lantern, a light bulb, the aurora, lightning, fireworks, I could go on. But the two types of light that show up most frequently are fire and sunlight or starlight. I count sunlight and starlight as collectively one thing because all suns are stars and all stars are suns. One just occurs during the day and the other at night. And we can see these two light sources, fire and starlight, even in something like this pair of concept photos from Fever 2, where you have the fire in one and the starlight in the other. These two light sources are presented as counterparts to each other, but they are essentially the same thing. You use the light or energy of the sun to start fires, and stars are really just giant balls of fire in outer space. There are generally two ways in which light is talked about in ATEEZ content. The first is light as something within you, something inside of you, something that lives deep down in your heart and in your soul. The second way is light as something outside of you, something that guides you, something you follow. Now, these are both just opposite ways to talk about the same thing, because light, or treasure, is just a metaphor for your dreams, passions, ambitions, goals, or desires. And your passion can be this light inside of you, this undying fire that drives you forwards, but you can also follow your dreams. So this could be seen as the fire that burns within you, and this is the sun that lights your way, or the stars you use to navigate. In ATEEZ's storyline, the Chromer is something they search for, and something they find. They steal it, they covet it, they want it, they dream about it, they need it. It's treasure. From Intro Long Journey, we know that treasure is something that can change the world. The Chromer is what allows ATEEZ to change what world they're in. The Chromer is treasure, and the Chromer is also light. In depictions of the Chromer, it glows, it glimmers, it flickers, it shimmers, it shines. It's something that emits light. And my theory is that this is because there's actually a star or a small piece of a star contained inside the Chromer. And this star is what gives the Chromer its power. The Fever epilogue diary entries say that the energy condensed inside the Chromer is the key to saving humanity, which makes this moment very important. In the Fever 3 diary entries and Deja Vu music video, Yoseng breaks the Chromer, and when he does, the light inside of it goes out. I think it presents an interesting question. Is this the moment in their story where treasure is destroyed, or is this the moment where the star is released from its glass prison? We know that treasure is something that people dream about. Well, ATEEZ's dream is to be a star, to be famous, to be idols, to be performers like the ones on TV. They want to be stars. The thing they're working to become, the treasure they're searching for, is light. When you buy a light stick, it comes in a box designed to look like a treasure chest because what is inside is treasure. It's light. Light shows up in every music video, as the setting sun in Treasure, as the candles lining the table in Answer, as the constellations in Deja Vu, as the force that drives away darkness in The Real, and as the glowing doorway in Paradigm. Light shows up time and time again in lyrics, in Pirate King, in Promise, If Without You, Take Me Home, Rocky, Still Here, Cyberpunk, and The Ring. It shows up in titles like Dazzling Light, Sunrise, Star 1117, Fireworks, and Eternal Sunshine. Treasure is light, and light is the central figure in everything ATEEZ makes. So let me ask you, what is your treasure? What is ATEEZ's treasure? Maybe you already know. It's you. It's me. It's Atini. We are the treasure. We are the light. We are their aurora. We are the countless stars in their sky. And this goes the opposite way as well. What is Atini's treasure? It's ATEEZ. They are our light that guides us through dark times. They are the rising sun. They are our idols, our stars. The treasure that we've been searching for is right in front of us. It's each other. At the end of this whole long journey, they find us, and we find them. They bring light to our lives, and we bring it to theirs. Because they treasure us, and we treasured them.